hit live. Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. If you gay, you gay. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
I like the promo. Do we have to get Anthony Kim's permission to do that? Like, is he going to sue us? Come and get it.
That's not Anthony Kim. That's just an AI guy.
It's just some random other Asian guy. That's Go Dogs.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. Got a whole gaggle of episodes. If this is your first time, if this is your last time, welcome. Make sure you tell a friend. Give us a good rating. And the next time you see somebody pardoning turkeys, tell them, hey, I got a great podcast for you. You're going to love it. It's called Booze Your Daddy.
Pardoning turkeys. 7 billion get killed and like one goes free. Where's it go?
2.
Did they go get killed next year?
I think they go with Joe Biden to the ranch or something.
He might get killed too.
Got a great episode planned for today.
Farm in Delaware.
But before we get into it, Zach, why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
So the Jets mercifully had a bye week. Thank God. My liver's thanking them. And the Ravens fuckers. They win. Ridiculous. I hope they agony in the playoffs. I hope it's some disaster in Kansas City again, like it always is. He didn't say anything. Anyway, I am drinking. This was a new one for me from the supermarket. Premium Brunonia Lager beer. Look at that flag.
Mother Rush. Oh, the Germans.
Not a lot of artwork on a very efficient can. Brewed in strict accordance to the German purity law.
Yeah, Franzekiner, or what's it called? There's a whole rule for this. I've listened to a podcast about it once.
Crystal Knox, whatever it's called. Whatever. That's what I got. What do you have?
I'm finally through all my pumpkin Snyders and all that, so I can get into the Maryland beers that I brought back, 2 months ago from the Denizens Brewing Company. Shout out to your boy, Big Red Norm Red Ale. It is a 6.5%. The best part, Zach, a little raccoon on it.
I like him.
It says, call me mayor.
That's pretty good.
Release the Kraken.
By the way, Tommy Toots, how are your Giants doing to Cutlets?
He's a Jets fan. You fuck.
Even worse. They stink.
Cheers to you, buddy. L'chaim. Let's get into it.
People.
Episode 257. Calling this one
Holding Space.
Start talking. What does that mean?
Holding space? Like placeholder? Like you're holding space for someone? No, you've saved a seat? I have no idea. I got nothing.
It's all the rage in the last week or two because Wicked, the movie, just came out. And they were interviewing Ariana Grande Canyon and Cynthia Erivo. And this journalist says, do you two know that people are holding space to your version of Defying Gravity? And the two of them, while petting each other, just break out in tears and become so shocked about it. So I've had to go down a whole rabbit hole. Everybody now is holding space for something. It's the buzzword term of the last 2 weeks.
It's like saving seats? I don't get what it means.
I went down a lot of rabbit holes. The best definition I can find, and I can read it for you verbatim, it's more or less active listening, which is something you've done 0 minutes in your life.
Never heard of it. Maybe passive listening, but that's like when you're watching a game and someone's prattling at you and you hear some of it.
Holding space is being physically, emotionally, and mentally present with someone or something. I did hear...
Holding space is during the Wicked movie when you've got to hold 2 seats on either side. No, take it. No. And you don't have enough jackets to make it happen and you just give up. That's holding space.
Did you take your daughter to see part 1?
No.
Did you know it was a part 1?
I did. I found out from Mark Maron. He wasn't thrilled either. Nevertheless, I'm not going to pay to see that thing twice. I will watch it on demand when it hits free. I'm not even up to $3.99. It's got to be free. What?
You're such a Jew.
Yeah, fine. They're gonna take her to see it with one of her, little sing-songy friends. I'm not sitting in the theater with a bunch of other kids singing. I'm not cheering for the screen. I did that once for episode 1, and it was fantastic. But I'm not doing that. You take her.
I've seen
you like all that fanciful musicals. Have you seen it already?
I've seen the Broadway show. Julie and I took her nieces to see it a couple years ago. The whole holding space, I have heard it used in reference to somebody who's dying, palliative care. You go be with the person. You kind of hold space with them. It's just meant to.
Holding space for someone dying is got a spot in the graveyard ready for you. That's holding space.
Do you guys have plots? Because we do.
I do. Jenna and I do. Zoe does not. I don't want to necessarily be buried with that crew. I don't know how to go about selling this to some Jamaican family or something, like, or some Spanish, like, bunch of migrants, like Elias.
Still smell like shit in here.
Exactly. Gutierrez sold chicle chocolate.
Don't you have a person that works with you for you in your home that you can pawn this off on?
No, she's got a whole setup. Like when she retires, she gets like a whole big thing in Alabama. Don't worry about her. She got better than all of us.
Good for her.
You mean George's landlord?
There's a whole rabbit hole with this holding space, but it's become the new how you're dealing with something, being present. I just think it's funny because, Zach, I'm willing to hold space with you for the Jets if you'd like. I can be an active listener.
No, you can be an active participant. You want to go to the game this week? We got one extra ticket. Me, Jenna, Zoe, and you. Let's dance.
Busy that day.
Fuck off.
As you sent me yesterday, I got my typical HBD, but of course I knew it means a lot because you texted me to me and you put it on Facebook. I joked about it this year. I swear to you, I'm doing it next year. About a week before my birthday, I'm going into Facebook. I'm changing the date to June, whatever. And then about 2 weeks after my birthday, I will switch it back. The amount of people that I couldn't give a shit reached out to me. I was like, oh, thank you. So nice of you. Okay, great.
I'm gonna take the hook. June 14th, and you're getting a happy birthday. I have no idea. Whatever Facebook tells me is good. Whatever Facebook tells me, that's your birthday.
I did get a couple of people that I thought may have reached out to me for my birthday, and they didn't. And in my head, I went, I don't think I know the season that their birthday is in, so I can't really be too mad for them.
I gotta tell you, I check it every day around 8:30, and I set my HBDs, and then I go about my day. Ooh, how many sent you a hat? Not I.
Yeah, it was Ron last week.
I know he asked. I have no idea when your birthday is. I've already forgotten it.
You mentioned just now about the promo with the Anthony Kim thing. These little promos I've been getting a lot better and making a lot more.
Pretty good.
And I post them online. And sometimes I think they're gems and they get nothing. And other times it's like, well, I made it. Let me just send it up and see what happens. I'm not going to call it viral, but your and I's back and forth about McDonald's, 4,000 views and comments in the first 24 hours. Well, I start off by calling them all fat fuckers. Zach, if you're not, I'll send you the link just to read the comments. I have never had so many people tell me I need to get a 9 to 5, that I'm the problem.
So they got to know you.
I eat 3 meals all the time. The whole time they're going like, 1, it's a joke. 2, how terrible are these? Just take a bite of something and throw those away. People were so heated about our back and forth about McDonald's. I couldn't believe it.
Bunch of animals. How fat are they?
Oh, I got one of those. I have a 6-pack and go to McDonald's 4 times a week.
Picture.
Nah,
show me.
I don't think I wanted it.
Oh, I want it. I want to see what this guy's working with.
I've eaten 10 burgers in a sitting. Like, people, you wouldn't believe what everybody had to say. It was incredible. The other thing I wanted to say about this past weekend at the movie theaters, they're trying to make a Barbieheimer again. They're calling it the Gladiator Wicked. They're calling it Glicked to try to make that a thing. Well, I was trying to look ahead to next year. There's Superman and Snow White and Avatar. The best thing I could come up with is White Man.
That's a movie. That's right there.
It's Snow White and Spider-Man, or Snow White and Superman. If you make that into a weekend, just call it Snowman.
White Man, yeah. Snowman, Snowball.
Hey, Zach, be quirky. Get jerky.
So the actual story is not as good as the headline. They never are. What? Wait a minute. Von Katz had 12 White Castle belly bumps. Oh my God, this guy's incredible. He's just
White Castles are minis, though.
12? Things are not good at home. This might have been last week, for all I know. Oh, back in the day. That could have been 2 weeks ago. Cemetery charges mourners for VIP pass to visit dead relatives to help keep grave sites safe from undesirables. That's where I want to be buried. Put me in this elitist, arrogant, ridiculous, and charge admission to see me. Perfect.
I'll hold space.
What?
I'll hold your space.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even think I want to be buried. I don't like bugs. In the little box. It's not for me.
I'll just put some snakes in there for you.
Yeah, it works. Amazon Alexa device predicts the date America will end in shocking video. they took it down pretty much immediately. But if you're curious, the world America is going to end, just implode, or civil war, or just can't take it anymore, or
2 years ago,
Baron Trump will eventually just destroy it.
He's huge.
Huge.
Have you seen him?
When President Barron comes up, it's going to be February 20th, 2031. So we're pretty close, man. It's happening imminently. So there's that. Father faked his own death to escape wife and kids.
We talked
Explains
about
how he disappeared abroad without a trace.
I brought this up weeks ago. I think they just are now covering that they caught him. But
yeah, they got the guy. He was,
Is that can we do that? I can
get
go
it.
for the weekend.
We're going to New Orleans. We could not come back. I mean, this is incredible, and he's getting all kinds of crap. A singular Macy's employee hid up to $154 million in expenses, delaying Q3 earnings. One guy.
My silver medal candidate for my list. I heard a little bit more of that story. Do you know that the person had no purpose or reasoning for what they did? They were just playing a game to hide expenses.
There's being a dick. Yeah.
They're going to get in all the trouble.
It's literally like Office Space, like fractions of a penny.
That's exactly what the person was doing, because they weren't trying to take the 154
they weren't
million.
stealing it.
What do you do with that much money? Brewster's Millions. You can't spend that much money. Like, wow, Tom is having caviar again for breakfast?
He didn't steal it, though. He just,
embezzled it.
Made it go away.
Yeah, it was just rounding errors constantly. That is the definition of boredom at work.
I'm pretty bored at work. United passenger restrained after attacking own seat in bizarre video.
You see the video? Guy went nuts.
I'll send it to you. He just starts standing up, kicking his seat in midair. There's nothing you can do to the guy. What?
I told you I saw the video.
You did?
I said, did you see it? He went nuts. You're like, the guy started. I'm like, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I just said that.
All right. So we're on the same page. Yeah, he got out of his mind. What's he doing? And then he has the seatbelts on him.
I've said this before. I'll say it again, dude. I don't know how somebody. I don't know how somebody can get through security, figure out the airport, completely sane, and then just lose their mind at some point.
It's not easy up there.
It's not. That's heavy.
So, okay. Mom's secret OnlyFans cash guarantees her kids will have the best Christmas yet. Some mom is doing OnlyFans, just middle-aged broad doing OnlyFans just for her kids' Christmas. That's the best part of this whole thing is that I'm sure she's fine. Her husband now gets to say he's married to an OnlyFans model. You need to say nothing else, just that.
Do you want me to make you an OnlyFans page and just make it private and post nothing? Because you also could be an OnlyFans model.
Good for Jenna. She could say, I'm married to an OnlyFans page. Whatever. No, she's making money. She's doing it all. She's found confidence in her own sexuality.
If you do go ahead and enter that era, then you could be putting stuff up there and just nobody pays you any money for anything. You have to have some type of Tinder to get you going.
She's got the Tinder. She's got the goods.
She looks like a lot of goods.
A lot of goods. So it would have been a lot better if it was a Maryland Uber Eats driver, but it is your state. New Jersey Uber Eats driver finds large bag of marijuana in what she thought was a burrito delivery. Now, this is the delivery, and that's what was inside. Why is the Uber Eats driver opening the food?
They always do. They take a little shtickle for themselves.
I think they do. I think they just get a respectable collection or like enough to equal sort of a meal. It's a sad life they live.
I won't say who I know, but let's just say somebody in my family, that my very immediate family who worked for Uber Eats. I asked him, her,
Carson,
if they have ever.
Little guy.
I said, did you ever take a bite? They're like, absolutely not. Week 2. Have you ever had well, sometimes a fry falls out of the bag. Week 3, I assume they're taking bites out of the hamburger.
A fry has never fallen out of the bag in history of fries in time. You ever gone to McDonald's and like a loose fry falls out of the bag? Never once. No,
not
they're
out
going
of the
into
bag,
the bag.
Out of the holster into the bag.
She's going into the bag.
Oh, she goes into the bag. I'm just saying that she says, or whoever
I'm talking
about.
A straggler on the bottom. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, we caught a hanger charge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the headline news. People in Japan, parents went crazy because they thought a pervert broke into a school and stole all their kids' shoes. Weasel caught breaking into Japanese kindergarten stealing shoes after parents fear foot fetish pervert, a weasel.
A weasel?
So that guy, he stole 15 pairs of children's shoes until they finally caught him.
Children don't have stinky feet anyways? Like, what are they doing?
I don't know, but like he was into it. He
We
kept
are
stealing
talking
more
about an
shoes.
animal, right? An actual weasel?
Yeah, one of those little guys stole.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, I know, right? And in the other video, in the picture, he's walking away with the shoes. So there's clearly video on this guy. Yeah, there he is. Shoe in mouth. And the parents are all up in arms thinking it was some perv. And it's just like, little animal? What the fuck is a wild weasel in the world? Like, what town are you in? Is there wild weasels near Milo's school?
The only weasel I see is every time I go to his school, he's always one shoe off. And he's walking around like a peg leg, just constantly limping. And the teachers are just standing there, just in their own world. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
cool,
because
thanks.
they're eating weed burritos from Uber Eats. And also, just in general, Trump is apparently appointing or allowing right-wing podcasters to be in his press corps. So we can swing this thing and get in. I mean, to be in the press corps, be us, Joe Rogan, other nut jobs, be incredible. We could ask the questions.
I don't think you know what a right-wing podcaster is, dude. Because you and I don't think we could even fake it.
We could fake it.
We could fake right-wing, especially where you live. All you have to do is say, well, I don't mind doing this. The fact that you mentioned Joe Rogan didn't say devil or a dinosaur lover, you're not right-wing enough.
Fine. Well, it's not Alex Jones. It's us. We could get in the press corps if we play our cards right.
You know who needs a bone is Rudy Giuliani.
He went berserk today.
Did you see that? He
went
can't
out of
even
his mind.
afford a cab right now.
Good.
Meanwhile, the best story of the week, which I really want to talk about, is Matt Gaetz, who got immediately dismissed as the attorney. Do you know he's already on Cameo?
Yeah, good.
Is that rock bottom, Cameo?
I don't know. I should have had you a cameo for your birthday.
Please don't. I wouldn't care. It'd be the biggest waste of money ever.
All right. Well, can we get Trump to be your father? It'd be incredible.
There's no
a big amount of money. He would do it. He's got plenty of time.
My father doesn't love Trump these days, but
who's he into? What does he want?
Oh, he's playing. He's waiting to feel it out. You know, I'll ask him. He'll be here in 2 days.
What does he want? Cal?
Ripken?
Yeah.
I don't think my father knows which team Cal Ripken played for.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Dude, what does he want? Evan Stone? Like, what is this guy into?
I don't know. He was really, really into the Republican governor who was running for Senate, but because of everything, Maryland was not electing a Republican anything, and the guy didn't win. Guy was great. Hogan?
Like
not that Barney, a different.
All right. Gates is $550. I bet he'd be do it for $200. Can you negotiate on Cameo?
I don't think so. $550.
It's a lot for Gates.
It's a lot for anybody just to get them to send you a video.
Mookie Wilson and Keith Hernandez, take my money.
I did have a patient who was really sick, and I don't know if they're still around, and I had nothing to do with it. And they showed me a video that was made for them out of the kindness of the New York Rangers player's heart. I'm pretty sure somebody paid for a cameo. And the guy's like, I can't believe he heard I was a season ticket holder. I'm like, oh, okay.
Is it the Rizzler? Hate that fucking kid.
Kid's worth $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah.
What's his cameo? How many college dudes is he drinking?
Anything else?
That's it. Slow news week.
Hey, Zach, what you watching?
What are we watching? We finished season 2 of Industry, and we've moved now to Shrinking. It's good.
Is it? I already told you my. Do you know what I do now because of my theory on Shrinking? Is before every episode, I pick 3 characters, and if they're in a scene together, I get to have a drink.
So it is Three's Company. It is just nonsense.
I told you.
Now, I do love that Jefferson's getting a bigger role. Like,
it always helps. No,
it
man.
Always helps. The Drew Carey lady, a bit much.
Is that where I know her from?
Yeah, she's just had all the plastic surgery.
Oh, Julie keeps telling me she's from Cougar Town.
The fuck is Cougar Town?
It was a show with Monica Geller.
Oh, yeah. I think she might have been in that, too.
Yes. That's where I know her from. Okay.
And the funny Spanish guy's in Cougar Town, too. Gomez, whatever. What's his nuts? You've seen him and stuff. It doesn't matter. She's probably in that.
Makes everything 10% better.
Louis Not Gonzalez. That guy. Oh. Not Luis Gonzalez. He does. But no, she's from Drew Carey.
Okay.
She's a bit much. Too much of it.
The best thing I heard about that show was I did see a video online. I think Jason Segel mentioned how he went to Universal Studios and he rode the Indiana Jones ride, and then he went on the Star Wars ride. And you guess it kind of makes you go, "Oh, Harrison Ford is in 2 rides." Harrison Ford goes, "I've never been there before. I've never been on that ride."
At least you didn't say I went to the Sarah Marshall ride.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Yeah, so we're watching that for the most part. We can only do one show at a time, which is pitiful, but that's what we're into. We've got others I've been told to watch, but when I get to them, I'll do the grand reveal. And as you're looking down, you missed this thing, which is my reveal of the hands.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's that. What are you watching? What should I be watching new?
I don't have any recommendations.
It's not a good season.
This past Saturday, Julia was out, and I think I've told you that I loved WWF or WWE growing up. So I watched the McMahon documentary. If you liked wrestling this much, you won't learn a single thing, but everything's a blast from the past. They're all dead. They don't say that, but they're all dead. The Anabolic Warrior, dead. Mr. Perfect, dead. Yokozuna, dead. Earthquake, dead. They're all dead. Tugboat. But I did stay home to watch that. I'm not recommending it. It's not good enough. Then, obviously, I'm still keeping up with Yellowstone, which I hope there's another season because they're really taking this last season and they're putting pieces together. I go, yeah, cool. I don't care about this.
Did you start Cobra Kai yet? I heard it's dropped out of nowhere.
I couldn't get through the first half of the season from months ago. It's
terrible, but I'm gonna finish the thing of it.
Here's something I learned about Yellowstone, which blew my mind. She was on Drew Barrymore last week, which I happened to catch a clip. Your girl Beth Dutton, British as fuck.
What?
No idea. No clue. Look it up. I didn't believe it. She was sitting there drinking her tea.
Better if she on Drew Carey.
With her accent, I could not believe that she's British. I had no idea. She has a dialect coach and everything. Give that girl all the awards.
Amazing,
right?
Yeah.
A million years, never would have had any idea. No clue.
I also watched the last 3/4 of School Ties. Cole Hauser, what a career! He might have had a pretty good gap between School Ties and
took me a while to figure out. I was like, where do I know this guy from? Took me a long time.
Yeah, that and Dazed and Confused, and then there was a 40-year gap, and now he's in Yellowstone. But good for him for still doing it.
My next project is to watch Anthony Jeselnik. Just dropped a special today. I can watch in 10 to 15 minute segments. He's fantastic. And then eventually just go, it's the same punchline. Just go for the different joke every time. But I'm a fan. I watch Jeselnik. He's a pros pro, although he's starting to get a little maybe lefty. He's starting to hate a lot. I'm just seeing a little too much of
he's very left. I listen to him, Aaron, because I'm a dork like that.
But that's where he starts going like, oh, this guy does this. He made a comment that went kind of viral where he said, if you are a comedian, podcaster, and you have on somebody big and famous, aka Trump, and you don't fuck with him, you're a podcaster, not a comedian. And I just thought, that's stupid. Because if I have a serious person on, I'm going to be serious. I'm not going to mess with somebody like that.
He also was funny. He said about acting, he said, if you want me for something, I'm not auditioning. I just can't do it. He said he went on an audition. They said, that was very good. Could you do it slower? He goes, no. Or no, do it faster. No, I can't. They go, what do you mean? This is how I talk. And he left. Like, I'm out.
Yeah. So Mitch Hedberg has a joke like that where he auditioned for a part and they said, okay, you did this. Can you direct? He goes, it's like going to a chef and saying, oh, you can cook. Can you farm? Like, no, this is what I do.
Yeah, he did it better, actually. Hedberg's good.
Got a hip anonymous from the other day. I feel bad because the guy was really nice. It was a family member of a patient. The guy is as tan as you can get in the middle of November.
Like George Hamilton?
He's wearing a deep, big fishing, some place in Florida, 2024 tournament. And so I started making conversation with the son, and I said,
must have been a Trump shirt at that point.
Well, I just said to him, hey, are you a fisher or would you live in Florida? And he said, no, I'm in a Fisherman of the Month club. I said, okay, well, what does that mean? He goes, well, so what they do is you sign up and they mail you a t-shirt every month of a deep fishing tournament that happens somewhere.
What?
I said, do you go to any of them? He goes, no, I've never gone a day in my life. I'm thinking some genius came up with an idea to mail all the leftover swag as part of a
brilliant
Zach in a million years. If not the big ones, but if there was a golf of the month tournament, it was like the Big Pine Open in Montana. You're not wearing that shirt unless you played in the tournament.
That sounds awful.
Terrible, right?
I guarantee.
And even the
person who came up with this idea was one of our people. I got an idea. Why don't we sell all these extra shirts to some schlubbiels who will buy them? would
I
never.
have a lot of swag from Spartan races and different things that I've done. I generally wear it for a year or two. I kept a couple just because of the memories. I'm
I'll
not
wear them
wearing
forever,
them
but I
ever.
gotta play it in the door, gone to it at least.
Yeah.
I'll wear them
But this
100 years. This thing is this is this year's, but I played in this.
that Zach,
I don't get it.
this could win for Pishadoo. I just feel really bad because the guy was so nice. And he was telling me all about it. Like I'd never heard of a blank of the month club. I'm like, dude, I get it. It's yeah, totally. And then I
Scam
tried
of the
telling
month. It's scam of the month club. Good for him.
Pishadoo of the week. I only got 8 candidates and you sunk one of them. So let's get this
Good.
going. Julie and I just finished the recent season of 90 Day Fiance. Cool. We don't need to go into it. It's not relevant.
Thank God. You're the Pishadoo for watching that shit.
There's a couple that are now doing this keto diet. So while they're on break from this end of season tell all, the guy takes out a whole stick of butter and just starts eating it like a Snickers. And if somebody goes, "Are you just eating butter?" And then him and his wife are like, "Yeah, no, it's actually part of the keto diet. It's pretty."
He didn't
good for you."
preface it. He just rolled it in like starts peeling it like a banana.
Do you keep butter in your fridge?
Yes.
No,
We
a lot of
keep
people
two
don't.
kinds of butter in our fridge. We have Kerry butter that we actually use, and then we have a stick of butter from the Carter administration.
Kerry Gold butter you're talking about?
Yeah,
The best.
the best. I know someone from there.
Showed me fucking timbers there.
Yeah, I went drinking with him the other day. Stumbled out of that place.
Yeah, stick of butter, hell of a snack.
What are you doing?
I didn't get that. This was from 2 weeks ago. I don't have all the details, but the world's largest complete dinosaur skeleton just
Thing
got
was big.
And how is the skeleton?
Impressive too.
Sold at auction for an obscene amount of money. Included in this was the naming rights, meaning in theory, you could have bought this thing for what, 20, 30 million dollars and then not been, you know what? It's my goddamn skeleton and I will call it whatever I want.
Zoesaurus.
Yeah.
Mulosaurus. What are you going to go with? You going to do the Jurassic Park? Do you think he's Saurus? Come on. No, it's a Zoesaurus.
I don't have a lot of context for this, but I did see a clip online of it was Jackson State basketball playing against some D1 powerhouse, and a guy gets blocked. The team is turning around, running down the court as the guy's chasing him down, takes off his shoe and just throws it at the player.
Austin Powers style?
Yeah.
What was a shoe?
It was just something you go, what type of discipline? What is the penalty for that? You get kicked out of the game? Maybe a flagrant 2?
Can't kick out of the game, and you're here, and they put the shoe in the case at school.
Oh, shit, dude. I saw that. It was just one of those, like, what are you doing? I couldn't believe that. Getting back from last week, I didn't hear about this until a couple days after we talked about the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight. There is a class action lawsuit that people have put together suing Meta, suing Netflix, because their viewing experience was disrupted. As you would say, God bless America. But the truth is it cheaper to fight it? Or is it cheaper to just pay the people whatever money they want and be done with it?
Fight it. Make them go to court.
I mean, they don't have a leg to stand on. It's really, really bad.
Make them go to court.
But it's not worth it to pay the lawyers.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You just don't pay anybody. Say, all right, I'm going to show up to a building on this day. Join me.
What I don't get is my insurance salesman friend.
Where the hell is Netflix located?
California, I believe. But
sure.
soon to be down the street from me.
Even worse. So make all these assholes go to some random spot in California, some courthouse, or down the street from you, which is
yeah. There's no damages. You're not going to win anything, but the fact that they're doing this, you're like, what
I wouldn't pay a single lawyer. I'd say I'm defending myself. You can come join me.
You're the CEO. You don't have to. You send the lowest person in the company to go fight that battle, so it doesn't cost you anything.
Nothing.
Lowest competent person.
Yeah. Just, okay, you're my deputy. Go. Say whatever you want.
Let's start talking about the fucking Irish. Have you been following the Conor McGregor Frappuccino case that's been going on?
Yeah.
Niche geet, huh?
It's not good.
It's weird. I don't know if there's a criminal lawsuit that's happening, but he lost a civil lawsuit. Help me out. He has to pay that poor girl $250,000. Is that enough?
No, he's got it on him, so just pay it.
I did the math. He's worth $200-some million. Doing the percentage wise, let's just say your net worth is $2 million. We all know it's a lot more, but let's go with $2 million. $2,000
with the house.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
$2,000 is what your fine would be if you decided to have sexual assault with somebody.
Yeah. It's an expensive night.
That's expensive.
I mean, if your good hooker costs you $400, $2,000's a real expensive. But you've gotten your money's worth of the
Committed
assault.
a crime.
Well, I know, but like, it's not good. It's an expensive night.
Well, he's going to lose money because he did get dropped from the proper whiskey that he started, but he sold most of that off.
Yeah, no one drinks that swill. Stuff's poison anyway.
I have some here. It's not good.
Oh, I've had some. It's terrible. It's an expensive night. How often do you think he goes out and drops $250 on one girl? On one girl?
Oh,
you can get it on my god. Yeah, right. When's last time you dropped $250,000 on one girl?
No, definitely not.
It's an expensive night.
This past weekend, you had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came to JetLife Stadium. I didn't hate that Baker did the Tommy Cutlets.
I hated it.
Here's why I hated it, really. Because he did the celebration where he got up and celebrates one, and then he did it 3 more times on the way back. He was doing it for the camera. That bothered me.
He was doing the dice too much, and it's not like this is Peyton Manning. It's Tommy DeVito. Just let the guy be. Let him be.
It really bothered me that he kept like, and then he stopped. Then he turned and do it a couple more times.
Yeah,
like, okay,
the dice.
We got it. We got it.
It's Tommy fucking. He's not even the starter.
Skipping the Macy's, I had one that I forgot about, and I do think that this should win. Actually, I don't. I lied to you. This was the number one that I wrote down. Sotheby's just put up for auction. Started at $800,000. Sold for $6.2 million. It is a banana duct taped to a wall.
I saw that thing. I don't get it.
Included in it is instructions how to replace the banana when it goes bad. So to be fair, they do teach you something. You learn a skill. It's called like comedian something. Them starting it at $800K, I think that's worse than it's selling for 6.2.
I think it's all bad. I saw something online, a meme of like Rembrandt, no formal training, years of art school, and it's a banana tape. It's that.
I think I'm pretty open that I have absolute zero artistic talent. My qualification for art, for true art, if I can do it, it's not art.
Yeah.
I can barely do a stick figure. If I can replicate art or make something.
It was art in some museum in Spain. It was a white canvas with a blue dot. It's in a museum in Barcelona.
Barcelona. That's like, is it Monet that does all the specs where they just look like they hang from a ceiling and just or Manet, one of them, right?
One of them. One of those guys.
90 Day Fiance, Stick of Butters, Dinosaur Skeleton auction, but you get the naming rights. Jackson State guy throwing his shoe. Netflix lawsuit for the Tyson's fight. $250K for Connor, or there should be a lot more. Baker doing the Tommy Cutlets. Macy's guy embezzling $154 million with no plans of benefiting from it. And Sotheby's, $6.2 million.
It's Sotheby's. It's either Sotheby's or the
Sotheby's. Not Sotheby's. It's whoever.
No, it's anyone who bought that thing. Anyone who showed up. Anyone.
They got
even the artist. Bilk the system.
Pretty bad.
It's bad.
Who's Your Daddy, the podcast? Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. We're going to keep doing this. Zach, the big sign off. Do you still watch Around the Horn? Because it's gone.
Gone? I didn't see it today.
About 25 years. I think this is the last year.
I watched the last 30 seconds before PTI. That's what I watch.
Are we saying goodbye? Are we doing this next week, or you think you'll be able to go 2 weeks in a row?
I don't know. Whatever you tell me to do, I show up. I'm a soldier here. Whatever we got.
All right, big
you do you.
Take it easy.
All right.
We out. Bye-bye.